you all throughout the addiction ship when you're with them actually the remnants behind the worst narcissistic injury that you could ever give to them. How do they show you? Because they're so concerned about their image. They're so concerned about what you have to say about them. They're so concerned about what others have to say about them. So this right here, when I share with you what's really happening and what's really going on in this particular type of injury, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I could see why that would be the worst thing that you can ever do. Because listen, these people are mentally ill, and not only that, they have a code that they live by too. You understand what I'm saying? They do. They have a code that they live by. And not only that, narcissists, being as insecure as they are, don't value themselves, okay? So they pride themselves on the validation, okay? On the validation and the affirmation that you, the supply, gives to them.
Here is the number one way that you can detect that you are in the presence of a narcissist. And please remember, it doesn't matter if it's your family members, mother, father, sister, cousin, auntie, grandparents. It doesn't matter if it's a friend, a childhood friend, a coworker. It doesn't matter if it's a lover, an ex-lover, or current lover. All narcissists abuse in the same manner. They operate out the same playbook. It's all textbook behavior. The number one way that you could tell that you're in the presence of a narcissist is triangulation. What is triangulation? Triangulation is the art of one person, one party, and it could be a group, but let's just say one person, one party, a narcissist. He or she will put one person against the other unknowingly to cause these two people to fight. In your childhood, your parents will play you against your siblings. They'll pitch y'all against each other. Your mama will gossip about your sibling to you, and then your mama will go back over here to your sibling and gossip about you to your sibling because she wants to see her children fight. This creates insecurities and competitiveness within her children. And this carries on into the adulthood. And this is toxic. No healthy parent will want to see their children fighting each other. But a toxic, narcissistic parent or family member, they love drama. They create chaos amongst the children and the cousins and the grandchildren. That is triangulation. If you had a toxic friend, this friend will gossip to you about somebody, a mutual friend or somebody else. But what you don't know is that this same toxic friend will go behind your back and tell all your business to the very same person they was gossiping to you about.
One of the hardest things that people are dealing with is dealing with recovering from narcissists. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how it's affected many people, how to spot a narcissist. And I'm going to just let the videos do the talking, and then we can dive deeper into it, okay?
There is only one way to break or even impact a narcissist. Silence. Silence. Let me explain, and it's going to take a second, but it will really make sense once you understand the bigger picture. After you leave this horrible marriage or relationship and you realize, holy shit, I was abused bad. This person was awful to me and knew they were being awful to me while they played stupid, and they were smiling in my face while purposely trying to destroy me. Yeah, it does something to you. And you feel a lot of heavy, deep feelings. People actually end their lives over it. That's how deep it is. So yeah, rightfully so. You want them to have to feel what you went through. They can't, honey. They don't have feelings. That's why they can abuse people. They're emotionally stunted between the ages of 3 to 5 and only feel their feelings to what a 3-year-old would feel. And they don't even know what they're feeling because they run from them. So you're not going to be able to hurt their feelings because they don't have any, bitch. But what you can do is hurt their ego, and that's all they have. And even so, it's underdeveloped and very fucking fragile, while telling you that you're the sensitive one. So how do you do that? Silence. Let me explain why that gets to them. Because whenever he or she is antagonizing you, and I know you have...
Yeah, so this is very true. There is no way to get through to a narcissist. You might think like, oh, I'm gonna go tit for tat, I'm gonna get back at them, but there is no getting back at them, okay?
Until they couldn't take no more, they exploded. And when they exploded, the narcissist turned around and was like, see, I told you that person was crazy. And everyone around the narcissist is like, yeah, you're right. That person is crazy. Frame their blood cleat. Have the other person thinking that they are crazy as well. And blood just destroy their whole entire life. You guys be careful, you know.
I've seen this happen so many times. A narcissist will isolate you and put you alone. They will take you away from your family, your friends, and your support system, and they will have you in this fairy tale bubble. And then behind your back, they'll have your family thinking you're crazy. They'll be telling their side of family that you're crazy, that you're the worst person ever. And it doesn't matter if it's true or not. We know it's not true. But the fact that you feed into the narrative that they're given just makes them so satisfied, because narcissists are jealous. They have things that is so twisted in themselves that they've carried in childhood that you don't even know about, love. Okay? It's mad.
Nobody talks about dating a narcissist or dating an abusive person, and they push you to the point where you react with reactive abuse, and then they use it against you. They blame shift. They use this one reaction amongst all the things that they've done to you amongst a period of time. They use this one reactive action against you, and they blame shift and they blame shift and they blame shift to the point that they end up forming another form of abuse against you, and you don't even realize what's happening. And before you know it, you now become an aggressive person, because it seems like reacting abuse is the only way that you can get some sort of action from your abuser, reaction from your abuser that you want. But then it's like...
Okay, so she touched on a point there. It's like the only way to get your abuser to do something. If you can't see that this person is in a trauma loop, and it's up to you to decide if you want to continue that trauma loop. And the thing with victims is they will continuously ask themselves, what reason can I give him or her to stay? Because you are tied to them. They'll make you feel sorry for them. They love playing the victim. They love making sure that you know that you will be nothing without them. This is why they isolate you. They'll tear you down. You will become financially dependent on them. They'll tell you, oh, you're so perfect, you don't need to work. You don't need to do that. Woman, you boots you up, work, do this, that. Some women would want you to stay home, be this person, stay at home dad, whatever it is. They thrive off of isolating you and pushing you. Little jabs, they start to see how far they can go, and then when you react, you are the problem, right? This is why the perfect solution for them is silence. Don't react. And if it gets to and I'm telling you, if you do not leave, it'll get worse. You will become more aggressive. Your sanity and your mental space will be corrupted. Okay? It will be corrupted. There's no saving them. You are not a therapist. And even if you were, they're not paying you enough. Oh, and another thing, she mentioned them being stuck at the ages 3 to 5 years old. I kid you not, when people say they are stuck in like intelligence, emotional intelligence, you can't reason with them. There's a reason why they say little toddlers, little babies are like little narcissists, because everything is about them. They want everything about them. So how would you deal with your child as a good parent, not a toxic parent, as a good parent? You would either, if your kid is throwing a tantrum over something, you would either remove the child from the situation or remove whatever is causing it from them, right? In this scenario, the toy is you, nigga. The toy is you. So you are what they are using to get feedback, mirror you emotionally, try to trigger you, they feed off of it. They can't control it because they're used to this loop. So therefore, you have to remove yourself or you have to silence them because their ego can't take it. And they will start recording and be like, oh, this person's no fun. I'm going to go to someone else. Don't take it as a loss. Good riddance. Let them go. Let them go. They say there's 4 types of narcissists. I'm going to put it somewhere up here on the screen. You have the grandiose narcissist, feels superior to everyone, craves admiration and attention, believes they deserve special treatment. Number 2, the vulnerable covert narcissist, extremely sensitive to criticism, plays the victim often, seeks validation but hides insecurity. The malignant narcissist lacks empathy completely, enjoys control and manipulation, can be aggressive or emotionally abusive. 4, the communal narcissist pretends to be kind or selfless, seeks praise for helping others, and uses generosity to gain admiration. Look over to your eye. We're going to watch this next one and then I'm going to dive more deep into this.
That's when the narcissist starts to panic. It starts to go through a withdrawal, like, what's wrong? Like, something is wrong. Like, this relationship's not hitting like it was at the very beginning. It doesn't have that rush anymore, right? So the narcissist would do 2 things, right? It's either going to drop you on the spot and end up going to somebody else for a new energy supply because they're trying to recreate that Cinderella fairy tale rush that they felt at the beginning, right? They're trying to get that high that they felt at the beginning. Or 2, if they feel like your energy is potent, if they feel like, dang, I'm not going to get this energy nowhere else, I want to hold on to this dude, right? They're going to act in line, right? It's almost to the point where they have the fear of losing you, right? It flips the whole board. They have the fear of losing you. So this is when they pull one of the behavior patterns of manipulation. And I forgot to mention, they use the manipulation tactic at the very beginning, right? When they try to hook you, they be like, this is just going back to the beginning, right? They try to use the manipulation tactic at the very beginning to hook you. So they tend to copy your whole persona. So whatever you like doing, they like doing. Whatever words you like saying, they like saying too. It's like at the very beginning, it's like they're copying your data. Like they're literally scanning you and trying to figure out everything you like to do. What does he like to do? Because I'm going to copy the same thing he likes to do so I can make it seem like this is a match made in heaven. They're going to be like, same. Oh my gosh, twins. Like they literally are mimicking you because they want you to feel like this is a match made in heaven.
Here is what your relationship is going to look like if you're truly dealing with a narcissist. A lot of times we're dealing with people who just have narcissistic tendencies, and a lot of times we're dealing with, especially women, we're dating F-boys, but we think they're narcissists. But these are signs you should truly look for if you think you're dealing with a narcissist. I want you to listen really, really carefully. All right. This is what the cycle of relationship is going to look like with a narcissist. The first time you meet them, you are going to feel like this is too good to be true because they're going to be the best thing that ever happened to you. I don't care if you've been married before or dated other people before. This specific encounter is going to feel like nothing you've ever felt before. It's going to feel beautiful. You're going to feel swept off your feet. You're going to feel like you're placed on a pedestal because you are. You're going to feel loved. You're going to feel supported. You're going to feel validated. You're going to feel heard. You're going to feel seen. You're just going to feel all of the feelings that you have been praying for in every relationship you've ever been in. All right. It's going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to be so beautiful. And you and this person are going to have a lot of likes and dislikes. Everything you love, the narcissists love. Everything you like, they like. Everything you hate, they hate. All right. You are going to be the most important thing that ever happened to this narcissist. And then after a while, usually 2 to 6 months, they say, sometimes this can happen really, really fast. But within a few months, you're going to see that feeling of being on a pedestal is going to start to fade away. And then they're going to start to slowly devalue you. Once they devalue you, you are going to flip roles now. Now you're begging for love. You're begging for attention. You're begging for praises. You're begging for compliments. You're begging for all of the things that they gave you freely, overly freely. Now you're begging for even crumbs of it. So sometimes they'll come back when you complain. Sometimes they'll come back and take accountability. Sometimes they'll come back and change. Sometimes they'll come back and act a little better. Sorry about that. Sometimes they'll come back and act a little better, and then you'll be back in their good graces. But they're not 100% like they were in the start. But you're just grateful for whatever they're giving you this time. So it seems like everything is good again. You're feeling happy again. And then less than 2 days later, you're back to feeling anxious. You're feeling depressed. You're feeling like you don't know where your relationship with them stand. You're feeling like you can't talk too loud. You can't even breathe too loud. You feel like you don't understand what's going on. You feel crazy. You're being blamed for everything. If you whine, you're whining too much. If you ask for accountability, you're asking too much. You're just going to be in this constant state of fight or flight, right? Begging again for love, begging for attention, begging for the same things that they overly gave you at the start of the relationship.
Oh, the video closed off. I was saying like, subscribe, and hype up this video, because you only get around 3 hypes a day, and I would like to be one of them. I know you're a bit bougie and it's a bit expensive, but still, hit that like button, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.